Funeral services will be held this week for the Roswell police officer killed in the line of duty.
Officer Jeremy Labonte was shot on Friday night while responding to a suspicious person call. The GBI says he approached a man for questioning in the parking lot of Ace Pickleball Club. And that man pulled out a handgun and fired multiple times. The suspect was taken into custody, and Officer Labonte was taken to the hospital where he died. He was just 24 years old. We have team coverage tonight. Doug Richards will have more from those who knew Officer Labonte, while Chase Howell is speaking to people in Roswell about the impact of this tragedy.
But we're going to begin tonight with Molly Oak live at that growing memorial outside the Roswell Police Department. So, Molly, what can you tell us about this unfolding investigation?
Ron and Jennifer, about 24 people now standing behind me at that memorial paying their respects. Earlier today, I spoke with the GBI as they released new details about the case as their investigation continues. Words of prayer lay on top of petals in a bouquet of flowers at a small memorial in a parking lot off Holcomb Bridge Road. That's the parking lot where a shooting happened on Friday night. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says Roswell police officer Jeremy Labonte was shot and killed after responding to a call about a suspicious person near a shopping center.
When an officer arrived, he was in the parking lot. He started talking with who is now the suspect in this case. And during the incident, the suspect pulled out a handgun and fired and shot and killed the Roswell Police Department officer. The officer did not fire any shots.
Officer Labonte was taken to the hospital where he died. This is the man accused of killing the 24-year-old police officer. The GBI says Edward Espinoza is facing multiple charges, including malice murder, felony murder, aggravated assault on a peace officer, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. And according to police reports, Espinoza has been arrested 3 times in the last 4 years. All of the arrests were handled by the Roswell Police Department. In 2021, he was charged with reckless conduct. 2022, he was charged with criminal trespass. And in 2024, he was charged with criminal trespass, simple battery, and being drunk in public. As for this case,
this is going to be worked meticulously by GBI agents. They are continuing with additional investigative acts that includes interviewing witnesses, processing what was at the crime scene, and what they would normally do in the course of any death investigation.
Giving you one more live look at that memorial outside of Roswell Police Department tonight. Meanwhile, the GBI telling us while it doesn't have a timeline for when the investigation will be done, once it is complete, the full investigative case file will be given to the Fulton County District Attorney's Office for prosecution. 11 Alive will, of course, be continuing to follow this case and see it through. We'll bring you updates right here on 11 Alive News and, of course, on 11alive.com. For now, reporting live in Roswell, Molly Oak, 11 Alive News.
Okay, Molly, you can see the love that's being poured out to his family right now as we speak. Thank you. By the way, there will be a visitation for Officer Jeremy Labonte tomorrow at Roswell United Methodist Church from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. His funeral service will be at that same place Wednesday at 3. The pastor presiding over the service also knows Officer Labonte. He's known him his entire life, and that's why we're going to bring in 11 Alive's Doug Richards joining us now from Douglas County. So, Doug, you spoke with the pastor today. What did he tell you about Officer Labonte?
Yeah, well, Pastor Joe Heyman says he was a lifelong friend, as you said. He has known Jeremy Labonte's parents for the 24 years that Labonte was alive. Labonte was a lifelong member of Kingsway Baptist Church. The pastor says Jeremy Labonte was a thoughtful and public-spirited young man, and that his death has been very tough on the people who knew him.
Just kind to others, respectful, cared about the people in his life, loved his family, loved his wife, loved his job. He always had a heart for others, and I think that's why he became a police officer. You know, he just wanted to serve people in that way.
And Pastor Heyman says that Labonte tended to throw himself into his pursuits, whether it was police work or whether it was while he was in school. He was an athlete in school. His pursuits there included football, where the pastor says he was well respected and well received by teammates. The pastor says he anticipates a rather challenging funeral service on Wednesday because people liked the Roswell police officer so much, and because he died so young under such difficult circumstances. We are live in Douglas County tonight. Doug Richards, 11 Alive News.
Yeah, a lot of tears, a lot of emotion are going to be expected there, Doug. Thank you. Right now, the mayor of Roswell is speaking about Officer Labonte's death and plans for the funeral service. By the way, you can watch his announcement live on the 11 Alive Plus. It's streaming right now. And we're told Officer Labonte's service will also be live streamed as well.
The shooting Friday had a big impact not only on those who knew Officer Labonte, but also members of the community. 11 Alive's Chase Howell is live from the parking lot where the shooting took place. Chase, what have people been telling you there?
You know, they're shaken up. I mean, look, this officer was responding to check out a suspicious person when he was shot and killed. It's not like he was responding to some sort of violent incident. And people are just sad for their community and sad for the officer and this family. I mean, look, I was talking to someone earlier here in the parking lot of Ace Pickleball Club, and he tells me that he hasn't been back here since. I mean, Chris Clayton says he was driving down Holcomb Bridge Road on Friday when he saw a whole bunch of police cars fly past him. And Clayton would later learn they were responding to the shooting death of a fellow officer.
It's crazy that an officer can be killed in the line of duty in Roswell. Like, when you think of stuff like that, you think of, some of your rougher neighborhoods, but that happening here it's kind of, I don't know, it kind of makes you open your eyes a little bit, nowhere, it feels like not everywhere's safe, you're not always protected, and, kind of got to keep an eye out.
Labonte is the first officer to die in the line of duty in the state this year and the first officer to be shot and killed in Roswell in the history of the department. And to put in some context for you guys, the last officer to die with the Roswell Police Department was in the 80s, and they died by a car accident. Reporting here in Roswell, Chase Howell, 11 Alive News.
All right, Chase, thank you. The Roswell Police Department, along with Officer Labonte's family, have created a fund to help those close to the fallen officer during this difficult time. You can find a link inside this article on 11alive.com. Just look for it in the featured section.